What's going on, guys and gals? It's the Tyrant here, and welcome back to my Halo 5 Guardians Legendary walkthrough. Today we are continuing with the mission Evacuation, also our final mission here on the planet Meridian against the Prometheans. If you remember last time, we had to fight the Warden Eternal. Fortunately, there are no boss battles in this mission, but it can still have some challenging sections to it. Basically, the way I see it, it's divided into three parts. This initial part right here, which leads you basically backtracking through the mission glassed all the way to the entrance to the space elevator. And then you've got the space elevator itself, and then the last bit when you're trying to get to the Pelican. So this is basically just a racing through. Obviously, you took the Gauss Hog here. It's got the strongest weapon. Now, coming up here, you need to worry about the Promethean-controlled Warthog. It can be kind of devastating. Just sort of depends on your luck of the draw here. Sometimes it'll shred your Warthog, sometimes it won't. And it looks like we've got the gunner, so we're in good shape here. Watch out for the Phaetons, as well as try not to drive your Warthog off a cliff like I am almost doing. The Phaetons can be quite devastating if they, for some reason, take an interest in you. I've noticed that sometimes the one right above me right now sometimes likes to play with me a little bit. And no, that is not what she said. So we're just going to keep going. Fortunately, we've lucked out so far. We had a little bit of trouble with that Warthog, but not too much. So we're going to go ahead and finish this drive here. Almost there. Okay, so we've got the Pelican right here. Now, I will say, just want to point out, it is entirely possible to get the Warthog up and over this crashed Pelican to help you out with the other section. I don't recommend it, primarily because what I've noticed is that if you take the Warthog over into the next area, the Prometheans are much more likely to grab a hold of the stationary turrets and make your life miserable. So what I'm going to do right now is try to position the Warthog so it can give me plenty of cover while I actually infiltrate the next area. So your main concern in this area over here is going to be the captain, the Promethean soldier captain with the incineration cannon turret, or incineration turret, or forerunner turret, or whatever you want to call it. So we're just going to see if we can position this in a way that's angled to help us to our advantage. So we're just going to stick it right there. That seems to be a good place. They're already getting lots of firepower on those Prometheans. So essentially, here's how this next area works. It can be pretty tough if you don't know what to expect, and if you don't know where the Prometheans are going to be. So there are essentially three waves that you have to worry about here. So we're going to go ahead and take care of this guy. There we go. So you've got the initial wave, as well as some that sort of spawn in right as you walk in. If you walk a little bit further, you have wave 2 that spawns. It doesn't necessarily spawn all the bad guys at one time, but it does usually spawn them in pretty close succession to each other, or succession, whatever. And then you have the final wave that spawns near the door. Wave 2 is obviously going to be the most difficult because that includes 2 snipers, which you'll see on the upper right platform. Those guys are usually also the most prone to grabbing the turrets, especially if you have the Warthog in this area. So again, I don't recommend it. I've seen people take it all the way to the space elevator, and then it just despawns. So it's not really worth the trouble. Plus, it gets destroyed pretty easily. So up here, you have a sniper rifle if you want to use it. You have more ammo for your battle rifle as well. Take that position. I prefer to fight most of the battle from up here. It just seems to be a good vantage point. Also seems to have the least amount of issues in terms of Prometheans trying to rush your location. So we're going to take out this guy real quick. That should trigger wave 2 to spawn. Should, being the operative word there. So we're going to move up a little bit, see if that call gets them over here. So one thing that I like to do here is to see if I can get at least one of my Spartans to take that rocket turret over there. That seems to be a high attraction point for Prometheans, and it will ruin your day quickly. So if you can actually get your Spartans on turrets, it will help you quite a bit to mow down the other Prometheans in the area. Even if the turrets get destroyed, all that means is you don't have to worry about the Prometheans taking advantage of them either, which will definitely help you out a ton. So as you can see, she's making some pretty good progress there. But yeah, so in terms of general tips for this area, don't bring the Warthog here. Well, they're the snipers. Would not recommend it. Come on. There we go. And also try to get your Spartans on the turrets, and also take it slow. Don't try to rush it. You're just going to get yourself heartbroken. And you'll probably break some other things in the process. So the sniper rifle is an option here. I typically use it against the captain, but since the captain's already dead, I'm not really too worried about it at this point. And it's pretty limited on ammo anyway. But we already seem to be making some pretty good progress with this area. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and... So this is actually an ideal situation. So at least we have one turret, or one Spartan, I'm sorry. One Spartan on the chain gun turret, another on the rocket turret. So this is going to make things really easy for when basically any Prometheans try to infiltrate this area, basically going to pass their doorway threshold. Do not advance too far though, because there is a Promethean with a chain gun turret right at the door, and they seem to really, really like that thing. But also, more so, when that third wave spawns, there will be at least one soldier with a, what is it called, a hydro launcher? I'm not really sure. It's the one that fires small rockets that kind of home in a little bit. So we're going to step back here just a little bit, take out this guy. Okay, try it with this one. The light rifle is a lot more useful against the Prometheans than the battle rifle. Both are fine, but the light rifle definitely seems to be a lot more devastating and have a lot more effect. So it looks like we're pretty good here. Take some time to get some more ammo. Hydra! That's what I was thinking. Hydro launcher. Yeah, it shoots water. So we're going to go ahead up and get what we need from up here. Okay, there we go. Waiting for that clamor to kick in. If you want to, you can get your Spartans to go ahead and grab one of the Hydra launchers. Not a bad thing. Okay, so here comes our other wave. This is the smallest wave of the three. So again, you really don't have to worry too much about Prometheans coming over this way, but if you get those Spartans on turrets, they have incredible range, so that definitely could help you out a lot. So we're just going to worry about this guy and the one with the Hydra launcher. Oh, there it is. So one direct blast from that thing will almost kill you. Not quite. It'll take out your shields, most of your health, but you'll still be standing. Now, if he follows in succession with more of those things, you're going to regret standing in one place. So cover is important. Just sort of keep an eye out on that guy over there on the right. Those things do seem to have a lot of arcing power. Come on, there we go. Those things are definitely useful to use against the Prometheans when they're in the hands of other Spartans. I found out that when I'm using them, it doesn't seem to have the same effect. I'm not really quite sure why. Maybe because they have infinite ammo for them. So I'm just kind of taking my time here. I don't even know if one hit me that time. What the heck? Looks like we might have another Halo 5 Guardians WTF moment here. Again, just trying to keep that turret occupied, just in case one of these guys decides to get a little antsy. So we're going to use that for cover. There we go. I love this hover ability. So he's the worst. Now we got to worry about the guy on the chain gun. Again, he's not really going anywhere. Not even really paying attention to us, so we should be in relatively good shape here. So we're going to move up. Just inside, you have more battle rifle ammo. I highly recommend taking this chain gun because you're going to be fighting a number of waves of Prometheans on the other side. So essentially the way this space elevator battle works is you have 3 waves in addition to the wave that's already there. The Prometheans that are already there primarily are just soldiers and crawlers, but there are also 6 watchers, and those should always be your top priority because not only can they protect other Prometheans, but they can spawn in additional crawlers and just drag out the battle and waste ammo. Jesus. Sloan sounds like that guy who drives a white van that you don't want staying with your children. And he sounded like he voted for Donald Trump. So we're going to go ahead and take on this area right here. This is why I like having the chain gun, because you don't have to worry about wasting ammo, and it's really good when it comes to dealing with these watchers relatively quickly. So that's 3. Let's see if we can get these. That's 4, so we have 2 left. Got 1 highlighted over here. While we're waiting for the watcher to come back around, we'll just deal with these guys real quick. So this is nice. Basically, this is free ammo, free high-powered ammo, mind you. So that's 5. There's a 6-1 over there. Going to wait for him to come back around. But basically, one of the things that I try to do here is keep my Spartans alive. Again, we're going to be playing a little bit of Ghost Recon with a little bit of just making sure that we're keeping all of our Spartans with us, playing the squad game a little bit. In terms of Sloan soldiers, don't worry about them. They're not going to last very long anyway. That sounded terrible. But again, this first wave is not that difficult. Now, in terms of the 3 waves that follow this, the first one's fairly easy, just contains some soldiers and some crawlers. Nothing really big. The second wave, to me, is the most difficult because it also includes 2 captains with incineration turrets. The third wave is just 3 Promethean knights. 1 has an incineration cannon, the other 2 have scatter shots. So it's not that big of a deal since there's so few of them. You just have to watch where they are and make sure you're keeping your Spartans alive, just in case you get hit so that they can bring you back. I'm going to deal with this guy real quick. So that wasn't too difficult.
Lockdown won't end until we clear the last of these Prometheans.
Alright, so essentially what we're going to do now is just get some more ammo, pick up some battle rifle ammo here so that you have more than enough ammo to deal with the next area without too much of an issue. We're going to go ahead and grab a suppressor here. These are really good for dealing with the soldiers. It's not too shabby for dealing with the knights either, surprisingly. So what I've noticed is that the shots, when they home in, yeah, they're going to home in on those vents that the knights have, and if you re-aim it just as the knight has his mask open, it'll take out the knight completely. So it's definitely really useful to have it around. So right now we're looking for that 6th watcher because that's why we can't really press the controls yet. He's hiding somewhere. And they will do this sometimes. You know, don't get frustrated. They'll hide sometimes in the rafters. I had a knight, I think it was in my full campaign and cutscenes run, that sort of just hung out on one of the rafters. I had circled this place a few times, trying to figure it out. I kept hearing him, but had no idea where he was. And so finally I saw my teammates sort of shooting at him, and that sort of brought things to a close. So right now I'm just making sure I have a quick avenue up to the outer rim of the space elevator. And this is important because this is how we're going to fight out pretty much the entire battle here, sorry. So we're going to jump up here, and we're just going to sort of hang out. So what I want to do essentially is get all of my guys up here, and so once we got that taken care of, there we go. So we should be in relatively good shape up here. But I have this little place that I like to call a home base, and that's going to be this little center area right here. This is also the place where the door will open up later on, so you can get to the scaffold. But why I like this area so much is because you have a lot of space up here, and it gives you elevation. Generally speaking, you're not going to get the Prometheans following you up here. That's not to say it won't happen at all, like you can see right here. So it does happen, but it doesn't happen a lot, and you won't get overwhelmed. You don't have to worry about any Prometheans getting behind you. Because you don't want to be taking it from the rear from these guys. Wouldn't want to get to third base with the Promethean. So basically we're just dealing with soldiers and crawlers here. Just a general rule of thumb in terms of ranks, generally the wider they are, the more dangerous they are. Shoot, I know I'm going to get some flack for that because someone's going to take that out of context, but it is generally true for this game. So just kind of sort of keep an eye out. There's only a few soldiers here, so it's not that big of a deal. It's very difficult to get completely overwhelmed as long as you stay on that outer rim. But you do want to constantly remind your Spartans to stay up there with you because they do have a tendency to jump down, and that's never a good thing. because as soon as they get taken out, that means you've lost your insurance policy. You've lost your ability to... Oh, there he is. Basically, they're your safety net, is the way I sort of see them here. They obviously offer additional fire, additional cover fire, put a little bit more damage in the Prometheans just to sort of help you out, but mainly they're there to bring you back in case you get your armor locked up, and that's really the most important thing so you can continue moving on. So right now we're just going to get prepped up a little bit for this second wave. This is what I consider to be the most dangerous wave. So we're going to get back up here. Make sure you get your Spartans up here too. Again, you can tell the break in the waves when the Spartans start talking. Basically, this is your area of exposition, as I call it. So we're going to go back to our home base area over here. This is where the captains will spawn in with their turrets. There's 2 of them, so definitely be wary of them. They are your top priority here because they can do the most damage to you. Oh, speak of the devil. Hey, take that, you orange nightmare. The pulse grenades here are definitely very useful. They can usually knock out their shields even when it comes to the captains. Or not even really shields, but their armor or whatever holds them together. I'm going to try to keep these around for the knights. You don't need them for the knights, but it allows you to get a little extra firepower on them, helps you weaken the knights a little bit. So we're going to use just a couple of these to give us a heads up. The main issue I've noticed with the turrets is obviously you can't move very fast, and so you become a bigger target. Ooh. Oh, so he tried to assassinate her. That's what happens when you start feeling up my woman. So we have a couple of soldiers left here. We're going to go ahead and take these guys out. The major threat is already out of the way. The rest of it is not that bad. So it looks like we've gotten everything taken care of. Are there anyone else? Is there anyone else left here? See if we have... My guess is there at least one more soldier because we're not moving. So we're going to scoot around the outskirts right here. Gives you a nice field of view. Still not seeing anyone. This is where it kind of gets a little frustrating because now he's just hiding. Don't get me wrong, that's smart when you're going against 4 Spartans by yourself, but damn it, you're making this take forever. Alright, so we're going to rush around just a little bit. See if maybe I can get his attention. Oh, that got his attention, so I think he's got a Hydra launcher. Alright, maybe it was a good thing he was hiding so we can save him for last. Well, get out of my way, lady. So we're almost there. Going to deal with him. Keep an eye on that DMR because you're going to want to take it with you before you leave. There we go. So you have 1 wave left. That is the Knights. Again, get your Spartans up here to get ready. Go ahead and grab one of these just to weaken the Knights. Listening to this person, it makes me wonder how Dr. Tilson made it out alive because I'm pretty sure that's her. Okay, so again, we're just going to sort of take it easy till the Knights arrive. There is 1 Commander Knight and 2 Scattershot Knights. Keep wanting to say Scattershit for some reason. So there they are right there. Obviously, the one with the Incineration Cannon is going to be your top priority. The others aren't that big of a deal. Just don't let them sneak up on you. But remember, there are 2 firing modes to the Incineration Cannon. There's the regular mode, which shoots basically like 2 incineration turret rounds in succession to each other like that, and then there's the main mode, which is like a blast from like that one, there you go, from the incineration cannon from Halo 4, and that is like a one-hit kill deal right there. So we're going to deal with this guy real quick. He almost got me there. So we've almost got this done. Again, aiming for the fins first. These guys are even, they're not that strong even on Legendary, as long as you've got the space and the firepower to deal with them. And of course, best of all, they don't have any real support this time around. There's no soldiers or crawlers or anything like that. So these guys aren't that difficult. They're just fighting on their own here. Just, again, take your time. and you should be relatively okay. Where is he? There we go. Alright, so there should be one knight left. Where is he? Going to go ahead and grab that incineration cannon. We will not be needing this in the next area, so we might as well use it now to take out the final knight and just save our ammo for the soldiers for the next area. So there's our final knight right over here. Should take 2 super blasts, should do the trick. And there we go. So see, that wasn't too bad at all. Again, it's just about knowing what the waves have and where they'll be. So get ready for the next area. This is basically where we're going to be scaling the scaffold and getting to our pelican. So let's see. It's going to take just a couple of minutes. The elevator will eventually stall out due to the Guardian's pulses. I think I know what's going on. I think the Guardian is channeling the tripods from War of the Worlds 2005. Okay, so that is our signal right there.
Everyone all right?
What happened? Elevator e-brake stopped a total.
We're just going to go up here. We're going to go ahead and make our way up here. Now, I've seen a lot of people do this differently. I've seen different methods where people just go ahead and climb it in different ways to avoid the Prometheans altogether. You can do this. I've found that a little confusing. I'd just rather go on the main path. It's really not that difficult. Really, your biggest issue here
Pick up this weapon.
There we go. Sorry. So your main issue here is obviously going to be the Phaetons. The soldiers, you just got to keep them in front of you. So again, just kind of take it easy. You've got the captain here. You've got nothing behind you, so just take your time. Try to stay away from the Phaetons as best you can. If they start shooting at you, jump behind a beam, something, anything just to get some cover. It's not that difficult. You've got a lot of places to run here, surprisingly. The biggest challenge is going to be when you get to the top, because there's quite a few soldiers up there, but again, they all stay in front of you, so as long as you have your buddies with you, you should be in relative good shape. And plus, you also have some light rifles up there too. So, again, there's no shortage of ammo up here. Just take your time. Again, it is entirely possible to rush this, but you know, I've got a lack of depth perception. I've only got one fully working eye, along with my hand. So, I prefer just to go the regular path here. Again, you don't have to, but it's not difficult to do it this way either. The biggest challenge is, of course, the Phaetons, and as I said earlier, it's really easy just to avoid them if you want to. So you've got 2 watchers up here. Make those your top priority. That way you don't have to worry about dealing with any watchers shielding your the soldiers, so you don't have anything to worry about. But essentially, that's it. So we're about done here. There's really nothing more, and as you can see with the incineration cannon, I got Vale to grab that earlier, so we should be in pretty good shape, or Tanaka or somebody. Very effective in the hands of your allies, especially since it has infinite ammo. That's why you don't want to bother picking it up yourself. But essentially, we're going to get this guy here. Just be a little cautious when approaching, because sometimes you'll have a couple of soldiers that hang up on the top level, and that's basically it. So thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Tyrant's Halo 5 Guardians Legendary walkthrough. We'll continue next time with the mission Reunion, where we'll finally be back in the shoes of the Master Chief. And if you like this video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button for more video game related content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on MythicTyrant.com. And you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you'd like. Links are in the description below to my social media. Thanks again so much for watching, guys and gals. And as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off.